Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're continuing on with the player health, and here's where we left off last time. We had our variables in place for the hunger, hydration, stamina. So now we're going to work on expanding the rest of the script. So first things first, I'm going to come inside the enum block and let's create some more states. So the first one, let's call this player health reset, comma, we'll have player healthy, and we'll keep going. Next one's going to be player fatigued, and we'll have player running, and finally player tired. So now we have those in place. For those of you wanting to implement the health, hunger, hydration, let's come down and we're going to move this line, the start core routine, from the apply damage to player block. So we'll just cut that. And now we're going to have the core routine begin on startup. So we'll move the start core routine to the void start function. And we'll come back down to the apply damage to player. And we'll just copy this line where we change the player state, and we'll paste that one in. We'll get rid of the empty line, and now when our health equals minimum, we're going to change the state to player dying, and we'll change the comment here. We'll just save that there. So now when damage is applied to the player, if our current health reaches minimum, we'll just switch to the player dying block and we'll iterate through to the player dead block as we would have done before. And I'm sure you guessed how this is going to work, because now we start core routine. When the game begins, obviously we'll go to player health reset and then straight through to the player healthy block, and this is where the player hopefully is going to spend most of its time, and then the other blocks will be activated when applicable. So with that said, let's actually create these voids now. So I'll come down here below our little state machine for the health, and we'll just create the private voids for them functions. So the first one is player health reset. We'll open and close brackets, we'll open and close, and we'll just copy this and we'll switch out the naming convention. And twice more. There we go. And we'll just change the naming convention to player healthy for the next one. Player fatigued. Player running. And finally for player tired. And we'll just save there. And now we have these voids in place. We'll come to the switch block and we'll create the cases for them. So I'm just going to copy the first one. We'll paste it in 5 times. There's 3, 4, and finally 5. And again, just as before, we'll swap out the naming conventions. So there's the first one for the player health reset, the player healthy, we'll just keep going for the next one, for player fatigued, and 2 more to do. There's player running, and finally the last one for player tired. And while we're here, we'll just get the debug logs in place for each one of these voids. So I'll just paste this one in, and then we'll go through and we'll swap out the naming convention. And we'll just copy from here and we'll paste in. And once we have this set up in this lesson, obviously in the next lesson we can continue on and flesh out more of these blocks. So we'll save that off there. We'll downsize, we'll come to console, make sure we have no errors, which we don't, and we'll leave it here for this lesson. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time, and until then, bye for now.